CPU into a project is quite straightforward and self-explanatory with TIA Portal's wizard, which we can access from both the portal view, which is what you're looking at now, and also the project view. But I'm going to demonstrate this through the portal view. So by starting on first steps and coming to configure a device, we'll open the portal window that shows all devices. Now, right now we don't have anything in our project, so that explains why there's nothing on this window. If you come to the left-hand side and click Add New Device, it will open our Add New Device screen. Typically, it defaults to the controllers. I do have a feeling, though, that if you have installed TIA Portal for the first time and never visited this screen, it might actually open on the HMI screen. But if you come to controllers, we are going to add a 1500 CPU, and I'm just going to add the most basic 1511-1. At this point, if you open this, your license will be checked to make sure you have a license. That's what that little stumble was there, and also whilst it loads the catalog for all of the different devices that are in this folder. Let's give our PLC a name. I'm going to call it PLC_1, a classic name, and I'm going to I'll choose the latest one. So we have a version 4 controller, and click Add. Notice here we have Open Device View, so when I click Add, it will navigate away from this page. And this might take a little while whilst it configures the CPU into our project and also then navigates to where we need to go. Once the CPU has been added to the project, we will get the PLC security settings window, and in here we need to set up the security level that we want for our CPU. What's interesting is through the adding of a CPU system or to the project, TIA Portal refers to it as a CPU, and then from here on in through the security settings it refers to it as a PLC. Now, PLC is the entire system, CPU is just the processing part, or what people typically refer to as the PLC. But I'm surprised that Siemens freely switched their language here, because it can be a little bit confusing as to what you're dealing with. So to begin with, because you can set all this up later, and we will come to this in another lesson, we're just going to turn off all of the security. So that means turn off protects the PLC configuration. We're going to turn off the secure PGPC, which means we can use legacy connections. Again, we can configure this later if we don't want that. We're going to disable access control, which warns us that we'll delete all online user management, but we don't have any there anyway because this is a new CPU. We can skip this step because nothing's on, and this one, and this one, and we have no authentication, so we don't need access without authentication. Now, this is where things can be a little bit confusing. Access level without password, no access, complete protection, but we don't have protection turned on. So while this is moaning saying that we won't have any access, we will, because we don't have any security set up in the first place. And that should be enough for us to do what we need to do with this CPU. So go ahead and click Finish. From the project view, which is the view we're looking at now, adding a device is almost exactly the same. You come to your project tree, double click Add New Device, and in here we have the same window in a dialog form that we saw in the portal view. From here, everything is exactly the same. You simply drill down, choose your PLC, it names it, choose your version, click OK, and we'll have the same process. It adds it into the project tree and pops up the PLC security settings. And from here on in, it's exactly the same.